What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today and welcome to Arizona Cycle Park, a track created by Kevin Fwailer, and it released just the other day. There's 4 track layouts in total. There is a night version of this track and a day version depending on what atmosphere you want to do, but we've got a Vets track, we've got a Supercross track, we have a arena crossy type track over in the background over there, and then we've got the main motocross track here too. There are a few little like jumps and turns over in the distance over there, but that could just be, you know, kids track, something like that, not properly designed and laid out to be raced on. Could even be enduro-esque. But what we're going to do is what we always do, and that is spin some laps on each and every one, see how it goes. And I'm quite excited for this one because I haven't had a chance. I've heard nothing but good things. You know, I feel like it's almost a curse at this point. So the title of this video may be a little bit cryptic to begin with, but let me just do a little bit of explaining. So as you guys know, I have a long distance girlfriend whom I visit once a month, usually for 3 to 5-ish days. I'll spend like a week or so there. And so what I do is I'll record a couple of videos ahead of time, just so whilst I'm away, you've all got a bunch of videos to watch. So it seems like business as normal on your guys' end, and I technically get a couple of days off of doing anything YouTube wise. So this time round, I generally did struggle quite a bit because since the 1st of April all the way through to, I want to say, about the 10th or so, there'd been no new tracks released on the game. As you know, like, new tracks coming out from whoever the creator may be is just a really easy like source of like content for me, like easy video ideas, just cover a new track. So I had to try and get a little bit imaginative and venture over on the sim side of things again, just to create something unique for each and every single day, barring Friday. I'm aware I missed Friday, I do apologise for that, but I'm back now. So it's no surprise that as soon as I go away, 4 tracks get released. Yeah, 4. And I swear every single time I go away this happens. I just get somehow I just seem to manage to get out of sync with track creators, and I'll be struggling a little bit for a few days where I need to get ahead of things, and then as soon as I go away, something great will drop and I'll miss it and then have to come do it a couple of days late. But you know what, better late than never, as they always say. So this is Arizona Cycle Park. I was about to say cycle track, sorry. Let me get my grammar right there. And this was made by Kevin Fwailer, aka Fwailer Tracks. And I've heard a lot of good things about this. Now, they've obviously never ridden, never seen Arizona Cycle Park before. I believe I may have played it once in Sim, just like a main track, and that was it. But as we know, MX Bikes, MX Simulator, they both handle completely different to one another. So I'm interested to see just how this is gonna go. If I make a lot of mistakes with speaking, and I'm so tired, you have no idea. I've literally been home for about 20 minutes after a 5-hour straight drive home with awful traffic, and the Bluetooth in my car wasn't working properly, so I had to listen to the most awful music that the radio stations seem to play nowadays, on whichever one I could get music from, because the service was just awful somehow. But yeah, so I've had a fun day up until now. I mean, the highlight of it was a McDonald's breakfast. You can never turn down a McDonald's breakfast. The only difference being your stomach really doesn't agree with it that following night or even the next day. So I've still got that bridge to cross when I get to it, but in the moment it was absolutely lovely. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But yeah, other than that, the getting home part wasn't too enjoyable. So I'm very tired right now. I'm running off of probably about 3 hours sleep last night. Did not sleep well whatsoever, and genuinely, I don't know what's going on with me at the moment. I don't know. I'm not sure what caused it, but anytime, I mean, even in my own bed as well, it's not so prevalent when I'm sleeping at home. But anytime I go away anywhere, anytime I'm not in a familiar environment, let's say, whenever I lay in bed, it's like my brain doesn't shut off at all. It's like it's actively listening out for any like noises that shouldn't be there, and then if there are any noises, then it just focuses on it, and then it just won't let me go to sleep, which is incredibly frustrating, especially when you're super tired and you're just laying there, just eyes closed, just waiting to fall asleep, and it never happens. I can lay there for hours on end and with no luck whatsoever. I've tried a bunch of things, you know, like turning off like screen, like, well, blue lights I should say, so TV screens, phone screens, wherever it may be, or trying to go to bed, not eating like right before bed, all that good stuff, having a shower or a bath right before, so then your body cools down, because your body cooling down by a few degrees is what usually initiates your sleep, and with no luck. So I'm hoping that tonight hopefully I'll literally pass out and have a really good sleep, and it should all be good. But I have to go through, well, obviously I'm doing a video right now, which is all nice and straightforward, doesn't take too much brain power to do, and just sit on here, spin a few laps of each track on this actually really nice and flowy track so far. It feels really, really comfortable to play on. And then I've also got to do round 13 of the Aerial Supercross Championship tonight as well, like tomorrow for when you guys are watching this. And it's at Atlanta. The track layout actually looks quite good. I've watched Reaper Doc's track preview that he does every single week. Lots of good rhythms, and for a 450, it looks like there could be a few quads involved in there as well, unless I'm just misreading the track a little bit from what I've seen. But it does look like a super good layout. The whoops look a little bit tricky. They look quite pointy. Looks like it might be quite easy to get kicked over the bars, but we'll see how that goes when we get to it. I guess I kind of get to get my excuses in there now, just with how tired I am, but it's not going to matter in the moment because none of you would have seen this video whilst I'm racing. But I have this weird thing where whenever I feel awful and I haven't played the game in a week, then I somehow do better than if I've been tryharding and playing the game lots. So we'll see if that holds true tonight. I hope so. I'm certainly looking forwards to it. It's every now and then you get one of them tracks where you're like, oh, I love the look of the layout of that. I really want to get my hands on it. So that's what we've got tonight. Now, I've done like almost 3 laps already of this. I think this is the main track here, which I'm on right now. If we go over here, so it's got like a shared start straight, which is pretty cool. I think you go left there to go to the main track, you go right here to the Vets track, which based on any other Vets track that I've played in any other video game, they all tend to be a little bit on the easier side. Maybe I need to rock up and just pretend that I'm 50 plus years old, and then I get to have a little rip around here rather than doing the difficult stuff. Should be nice and straightforward. I won't waste too much of your time around this one because I imagine it's just a couple of tabletops and a couple of corners, which could probably be quite easy, quite fun on a 125 when you're on the 450 grind like me. Obviously it's a little bit overkill, but it is what it is. It's been a while, I think, since we've seen a track from Kevin, and I done my 50,000 subscriber stream the other day. On what day was it? I think it was Sunday that I'd done it on, and we done a bunch of Kevin tracks, like a bunch of the Brazilian Championship tracks we done. I do thoroughly enjoy them. I think he's very, very good at making tracks. I'm not sure if this one was commissioned. Obviously it's on the store. I'm not sure if someone commissioned him to make it and then they put it on the store too, or if he just done this off of his own back and then whacked it up on the store. At first I was a bit hesitant because I saw the preview of it on my phone whilst I'm away, in terms of just the web page, and I was like, oh, it's like $3 for one track. That seems a bit hefty. And then it wasn't until I got on my PC today and saw the entirety of it that, you know, you've got a day version and a night version. You've got the main track, Vets track, Supercross track, Arena Cross track. So, oh, okay, so it kind of falls under the compound category rather than just like a one-off track. So I feel like it was a bit more justified. So here we are. That's led us to this point. I'm going to, as soon as we go over here, kind of the start straight for the Supercross track just on our left, and we kind of cross over it on this track. I'm going to just hook a right. We're going to hop over to the Supercross, which I always am excited for. So we'll go down this hill and go over this tabletop, which I wadded myself on last time. It's quite a sharp transition there. Then it takes us round to the right. We'll make a big hybrid track. There you go. We've got a massive straight down here off this banked corner. Oh, what are the whoops like? Oh, these are a little bit choppy. Oh, tell you what. I don't know if I've got lucky there or what, but that felt very, very nice. Very, very smooth. Nice little triple. Round to the right, we got a double. This looks tripleable. Double. This is a Supercross triple out this corner. Let's huck it up and over that. Oh, get over it. Barely. Back end got hung up just a bit. I like that. I'm not sure how well you can see that on YouTube compression, but there's like just a hint of a rut in some of these corners where he's not dug down super deep, but you can see that it's at a different level than the rest of the berm. So I feel like it's one of them things where people naturally gravitate to and then end up building a rut themselves. I really like this. I like that he's gone through the effort of making the jump faces nice, and they're like very uneven. There's high spots and low spots, so depending on how many laps you spin and how kind of dialed you've got the track. Same with the whoops as well. There's high spots and low spots in the whoop. You can kind of move like half a foot left, half a foot right, and it'll kind of change your trajectory over the jumps, and your speed will be affected by that as well. Can we triple? Don't know if you can triple out of that corner. I'm going to spin around and hit it again. I'm going to try and go as fast as possible. Is there a high side on the right takeoff? No, there's one tiny bit. So if I'm going to go for it. We're going to try and hit this as fast as possible and see if we can triple out of this turn. Yo, yeet! Oh, over it! Oh, barely. I got hung up a bit. That's definitely doable. I know that I definitely got more speed in the locker around that right-hander. But this is, as far as... I can't really classify this as a custom Supercross track, can I? Because obviously it's based on a real track and replicated. It's done a very good job with the scaling and the templates. The berms feel nice. Feels like they hold you really, really well. The jumps aren't too peaky. They're not too shallow either. It's just the right amount. And like I said, I love how the jump faces are nice and uneven. There's high spots and low spots. I definitely would like to see things like this integrated into the this quote-unquote pro tracks, the aerial tracks a bit more. But I know that in terms of that, they're kind of replicating a track map at the end of the day, and I feel like unless we start doing the races the week after IRL and we get exact replicas rather than track maps, I know that it's going to be hard to kind of do that because it would all be under Stone Rider's own personal discretion on what he feels the track would deteriorate like, which I suppose is near on impossible to do. It's probably one of the things that if we ran it the week after and you saw what the event was like IRL, you could maybe replicate some of the ruts and bumps. I think I'm quite alone in that opinion that our Supercross track should have like pre-built ruts in the corners. Not so much like super deep ones, but just suggestions, you know, because at the moment, one of the biggest issues that we have in racing on the quote-unquote pro scene is the fastest way around the track is to rail the corner. There's no debate about it. That is just fact. And what tends to happen is as the track erodes and you get then grooves in the corners, a lot of the corners do tend to get faster. So if you do want to then try and pass someone, you tend to have to wait for a mistake more than often rather than being able to make a pass on your own. You can't cut down in the corners at all. And I've seen the argument people make of let's just remove your road then so you can cut down in the corners, but that wouldn't change anything because the fastest way around the track would still be to just rail the outside. So it doesn't change anything at all in that regard. So I think what a nice alternative would be is kind of like this. So you could start the race by railing the outside here and it being really fast. And then maybe if you're coming up to someone that you're a little bit faster than, you can go one rut lower, like here, and have a little bit of support coming out the corner to give you a slingshot. And I'd really like to see it. I know that we've done it on a few tracks last season, and I think it wasn't everyone's biggest... not everyone agreed on it. Not everyone were big fans. And I know I am in the minority. I like the tracks to be a little bit rougher, as frustrating as the front end tucks and wobbles can be. But I think if you're a pro in this game, it's always a weird way of wording it. We don't get paid for this. We're not technically professionals at all. We just are good players. I feel like you should be racing on super hard tracks. But that's just me. I'm just one guy. And this arena cross track here looks very straightforward. The whoops are pretty easy. It looks like you haven't even got to skim each and every one to get through them. This section here's a bit of a huck. If you can get onto that table, don't think you can jump all the way out. I don't think it's like a triple step off. I think that you just step off it in the one jump. But quite a straightforward arena cross track. I will say, the main motocross track, as well as the Supercross track, I am a big fan of around here. The Vets one is, it's just a Vets one. It's always going to be a little bit easier, so maybe if you're newer to the game and you want to warm up on that, then you may as well. And the Arena Cross track is maybe a little bit of an introduction to the Supercross side of things as well, a little bit easier. Overall, I think it's done a very good job of this. I think the track is quite pretty. In terms of models, there's not a bunch dotted around, but for it to be in Arizona, it's literally a desert as it is anyway. I'm sure there's not much out there. I might do a little bit of Googling afterwards and see exactly what the track's like IRL. But if you have ridden there IRL, I'm sure you can let me know in the comments if Kevin's done a good job at this. He does link in the credits of this track build someone that has ridden there a bunch IRL that was helping him to get it as close to real life as possible. So let me know, did they do a very good job? Personally, big fan. I think it flows really well. I really enjoy that Supercross track and the way that he's built things. I would love to see some of that incorporated into our actual professional races. And that's going to do it from me. Again, I apologise if there was a bunch of stuttering or I've misspoken in this video. I am very tired. As I said, I'm kind of playing this half asleep right now. And for some reason, my voice is slightly gone, even though, as I mentioned, I had to listen to crap music the entire way home, so I wasn't singing my heart out for a change. Didn't have my Bluetooth on, didn't have my own music on where I could just sing to my heart's content. But that'll do it for me. I hope you've enjoyed this video as always, and apologies for a missed upload on Friday. Hope you enjoyed yesterday's live stream. If you made it at all, I'm saying all this ahead of time. I'm hoping that it goes well. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Have a lovely rest of the day. See you next time. Peace.